Okay, so we're carving a baseball. And to begin with, you're going to rough out a sphere to turn into the ball. For that, we're using cherry wood, turning it down on the lathe. And I'm turning it larger than it's going to actually be for two reasons. One, in carving, it's easy to take away material, but it's a lot harder to put it back. And two, I'm going to make the stitching for the baseball really just stand out a little bit more than what it does on a traditional baseball. That'll make more sense as we go along. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos, I started out very similarly when I made the Eagle Globe and Anchor, turning the sphere for the globe. The difference here is because the baseball is going to be completely free of any base that it's going to be attached to, well, it's going to be separated. Now what I'm doing, I'm turning a depression into that extra piece here for the ball to fit into. Now I can turn it on its side and bring it closer to the final shape that I want it. Again, we want it larger than the actual baseball to give us some meat to take away from. And this is not an exact science. Okay, now that we're going to the bench, we're laying out the pattern for the stitching. I didn't go online or pull anything off. It's completely from memory and, well, what we all know a baseball to look like, right? It's the two pieces fitting together. You're thinking like a figure eight, making it a bit thicker. And now we try to start removing material. I say try because it's a sphere. So it's little bit by little bit. You're not taking off huge bites here. And what you're doing is you're recessing everything that's not the stitching. So I'm cutting everything away but the stitching here, not focusing on any one area too much. If the grain's cooperating, I'm going with it. If it's not cooperating, I'm turning it and finding an area that is going to cooperate. And I also choose whatever tool is going to do the best job. So at this point, I pulled out the Dremel to help give me some guidelines here, something to work towards. Don't normally use it now, but that was the best tool for the job. Switched over to some palm tools here. Again, just working it down little bit by little bit. Because whatever cut I'm doing, it's only going halfway. Meaning there's a center point for every section where the grain's going to go the other direction. So you have to be very careful watching how you're cutting. Now, if the grain's cooperating, you're getting burnishing cuts throughout most of this. Taking small little bites. You're not trying to take out a whole lot of material. I even pulled out my spoon carving knife to help remove material because it's cherry wood. It's a hard wood and it doesn't always want to carve easily. Oh, something else I added here, I utilized the Starbond super glue to fill in some cracks because there is end grain in this. Switched over to an Abigail knife, then to a gouge. And you can see it's starting to take shape. Something else I'm not going to do here is I'm not going to do a lot of sanding on this. I want to leave my tool marks. When you pick this up, you're going to know that it is a hand-carved baseball. you're going to know that it's carved from wood. It's not going to be a question of, oh, what is that? Is that a resin, or was that made in a mold somehow? No. You're holding a chunk of wood. Now, as we become more and more refined with the carving, what it will start to look like is a sphere inside of the stitching. So the stitching area is going to be raised over the entire piece. The ball itself is shrunk just in behind that, so it should look like it's flowing underneath the stitching. I realize you can hear the nature in the background. I also finally found a better way to hold the ball. It was by utilizing the same piece that I held it on the lathe with. I just pulled it over to the bench and also used the base for my ball vise. That black ring there is a rubber base for a different type of vise that I use. But ultimately it was whatever tool was cutting the best for wherever I was carving. So there was no plan in how I proceeded with any particular part. It was, okay, what do I think is going to cut better here? And don't let the speed in this fool you. I was really changing tools about that often, just trying to find the best one to give me the cut I wanted. Now we're on to the stitching itself. Again, finding the grain, which way it's going, so you get the good version. Ultimately, that very small shape down here, cutting away everything that's not stitched. So the negative space in between the stitch is what I'm cutting here. And I do that both sides of the stitching. And once that's complete, we're going to go in with a different tool and round off the top. Now we wish it went this fast. When that's actually doing it, as monotonous. The stand that I made for the wall, see in the top left corner here, is 3 mini baseball bats all turned on the lathe that made one. And there's a ring also turned out the same maple. The bats fit through the ring, and the ball sits on top of the 3 bats. And through gravity, it holds it all together. Turned out really nice. Now, if there are any questions about how I've done any of this, feel free to drop a comment. Like if I've earned that. Subscribe if I've earned that. And share if I've earned that. Other than that,